Members of the jury, you are here today to judge whether the president of the Rotary Club of Gig Harbor should be impeached and removed from office. Given that you are all Rotarians, are you ready to address the supporting charges using the four-way test?
Yes.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sure.
Other persons in the courtroom, I caution you to use your utmost decorum during the course of these proceedings. Mr. Myers, may I have your reading of the information?
I object, Your Honor. Information is only read in federal court, and you sure as shooting ain't no federal judge. Are we using Robert's rules, Your Honor?
We're using Bob's rules, Mr. Pinch. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Here's your client.
He's down talking on the beach.
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to no one, Your Honor. He's practicing for next week's Rotary meeting, and everybody on the beach left.
Great. I doubt he has anything important to say anyway, and whatever it was, it'll take too long. We'll try him in absentia.
This dude hasn't abstained from anything.
I said absentia. Well, you know what I mean. Mr. Pinch! Mr. Pinch!
Huh?
Mr. Pinch, make my day. Mr. Pinch, what are you doing?
Just trying to get my point across.
Mr. Myers, proceed.
As the court said, these proceedings are meant to initiate and impeach Halleck Hodgins as the president of the Gig Harbor Rotary Club.
Proceed.
On or about May 8th of this year, Halleck was charged with the following crimes.
Objection!
Of course you would, Mr. Pinch. Now sit down.
Okay.
Oh, wait, your fly is still down.
Still trying to get my point across.
Mr. Myers, do you see a conflict here?
Under normal circumstances, Your Honor, we would object, but we would prefer, in this case, to have this piece of work representing the accused, so no objection.
Mr. Myers, you may proceed.
As I was saying, Your Honor, on or about May 8th, 2020, Halleck Hodgins was charged with the following. Count number 1, abuse of a musical instrument, aka impersonating a musician. Count number 2, overuse of the calendar, aka we can read. Count number 3, spearheading a culture of drug use. And finally, count number 4, droning on and on and on and on.
Anything to say, Mr. Pinch?
Nothing, Your Honor. Your Honor.
I didn't think so.
As to count number 1, I introduce the following into evidence. As to count number 2, abuse of the calendar, aka we can read, I submit to the jury the following. As to count number 3, spearheading a culture of free lovin' drug abuse, I submit the following. And as to count number 4, droning on and on and on and on.
Calendar. Back to the calendar.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've seen ample evidence. You have heard the charges brought against Mr. Hodgins. What say you to the charges?
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Having made a finding of guilty, I now ask that you impose the penalty.